Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 18. Now as you can see, this is a little bit different, but in today's video we had an opportunity to visit Neil's photography hides, specifically the fox hide, and spend the day photographing foxes with hopefully a chance to see other wildlife like red kites and buzzards. Also, we met up with Wildlife with Rui, so big thank you to you for sorting everything out. If you haven't already, I'll put his handle on screen. Go follow him, he takes amazing photos. Now, even though this wasn't one of those days where we were traveling somewhere specific to add lots of birds to the challenge, it still turned out to be a very memorable experience for a few different reasons. If you do enjoy this type of content, hit the like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has supported the channel, whether you're new or old. Thank you so much. Now let's get to it. And with these kind of sessions, that usually means one thing, and that's waiting, a lot of it. There's always that initial excitement because anything could appear at the moment. But as the hours went, nothing really happened. Now I've seen a lot of videos on this hide, so I wanted to experience the buzzards getting really close and the red kites getting really close. That was something that I was really excited for, but we didn't really have much. To the left of the hide, there was also a set of bird feeders. Now, we arrived there at 10 o'clock, and to be honest, for the first few hours, nothing was really happening. So we turned to the feeders to try and hopefully get a better shot of a parakeet. Now, we had other birds on the feeders like blue tits, coal tits, also woodpeckers, but unfortunately the parakeets pretty much dominated the feeders. So our challenge was to try and see if we can get a shot of a parakeet in flight, but without including the feeders in the frame. I also managed to get a much better photo of a parakeet than I originally did in episode 1, so I definitely will be upgrading this photo with the one that we got in episode 1, so that's always a bonus. While we were waiting for the foxes to come, the moor started to heat up a little bit. Red kites were flying over and diving in from time to time, and I did try and get some photos, but it never quite connected properly, and most of them were pretty much out of focus. Now, this was the best sequence I managed to get, even though it is slightly out of focus. This wouldn't be classified as an episode for the UK Bird Challenge if we didn't get an opportunity to photograph a new bird. And we did. We managed to photograph a stock dove, which also came into the moor, and that then becomes bird number 68 for the challenge. So even though this wasn't really a day of adding new species to the list, we still managed to make some progress, even though it was only one bird. And I'm also quite happy with the photo. Now, I've spoken about hides versus photographed wildlife in the open before, I believe in episode 11, but after spending some more time in hides recently, and as I'm doing right now, I think my thoughts have become a little bit clearer, and I wanted to share that with you, but also to open up a discussion in the comments if you guys also have your thoughts too. I do think hides have a real place in wildlife because it allows you to get incredibly close without disturbing the subject, and you can focus purely on settings and composition and getting the best images possible. One point I mentioned back in episode 11 was that for me, someone coming from fashion photography to wildlife, it gave me an opportunity to work on my photography and my settings without having to learn fieldcraft, because this whole genre of photography was really new to me. I do think hides have a real place in photography because they allow you to get incredibly close without disturbing the subject. And you can focus purely on your settings, composition, and getting the best image possible. Now, for someone like me, when I was starting a year ago, this was amazing. It allowed me to just focus on trying to photograph the specific species without worrying about, am I disturbing them? Am I too close to them when I'm out in the field? But at the same time, fieldcraft teaches you a completely different skill set. Knowing how to position yourself, how to read behavior, and how to find opportunities naturally, I think there's something really rewarding about that side of photography. But sometimes hides can just feel a little bit limiting because you're working from a fixed position and often getting similar compositions as the people that came before you, but also come after you. Whereas in the wild, every situation is always different. Personally, I think there's a place for both. And after doing more and more hides recently, I do feel the urge to go back out and photograph things in a more natural way. So, I want to hear from you. Are you hide, anti-hide? Is there a place for both? Let me know in the comments down below. And after hours of waiting, the moment we were hoping for finally happened, and the foxes appeared. And straight away, seeing them properly up close completely changed my experience. We're used to see foxes at night locally, quickly moving through streets, or just hearing them late at night while we're in bed. But seeing them up close in daylight, calmly moving through the environment, was completely different. It showed me how beautiful these animals really are, the details in their fur, the way they moved, their eyes, and that was one of the key details that really stood out for me. They have beautiful eyes. Now, after the foxes had disappeared by blessing us for a few good hours, right at the very end, we also got to see a buzzard. Now, unfortunately, we didn't end up getting any shots. The light was dropping quickly and it ended up being very, very dark, but the buzzard came in and shot back off again. Overall, this was a really enjoyable experience and a completely different kind of day from what we normally do for our challenge episodes. We added a new bird to the challenge, which was the stock dove. We upgraded the parakeet photos and we had chances with red kites and a small little chance at the end with a buzzard. But most importantly, we got to spend time watching and photographing incredible foxes. Now, I know this is really a bird-focused video, but again, just want to say thank you for everyone for watching. I do know that some of you have been asking about the spreadsheet I made to follow along with the challenge. Now that's been fully brought up to date and is ready to download in the description down below. So if you want to track the challenge as we go or even try it for yourself, it's all good and ready to go. Link in the description. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. I appreciate you watching. See you next time. Love you all. Peace.